We have optimized everything except ourselves. Look around for a moment. Humanity has escaped and accomplished extraordinary things. We have optimized communication. We can speak to someone across the world instantly. We have optimized transportation. We can travel thousands of kilometers in an hour. We have optimized healthcare. We have extended human life, optimized technology. Artificial intelligence can now answer questions, write code, generate art, solve complex problems within seconds. We have optimized productivity, business, education, entertainment, nearly every aspect. The external world has evolved dramatically. Yet, let me ask you a simple question. Have we optimized ourselves? Because despite all this progress, people are still overwhelmed, still overthinking, still anxious, still emotionally exhausted, still searching. How is it that we have optimized almost everything around us? Yet, so few of us understand that one instrument through which every experience is lived. From childhood, we have taught many important things: how to read, how to write, how to solve mathematical problems, how to use technology, how to build career, how to earn a living. These are valuable skills. But there is one subject almost completely missing. No one teaches us how to understand our mind, how to understand our emotions, how to understand our reactions, how to understand awareness itself. So we become an expert at navigating the world while remaining stranger to ourselves. And perhaps that's where external progress does not always produce inner peace. Most of our lives are shaped by external influences: family, education, society, culture, success, failures, social media, opinions, comparisons, advertisements, expectations. Without realizing it, our attention is constantly pulled outward. We become so busy responding to the external world that we rarely pause to observe the one experiencing it ourselves. And because our attention always moves outward, our life gradually becomes defined by the external stimuli: what people think, what society expects, what success should look like, what happiness should look like, what life should look like, without ever asking what is actually true for me. This is why many people feel disconnected, not because something is wrong with them, but because they have spent years looking outward without understanding inward. Imagine owning the world's most advanced camera, yet never learning how the lens works. Every photograph will eventually become distorted, not because the world is distorted, but because the lens was never understood. The same is true for human experience. Our mind is the lens, our awareness is the light. Yes, most of our lives trying to change the picture instead of understanding the lens. At some point, life quietly asks a different question: not should I achieve next, but what I'm not understanding. That question changes everything because for the first time, attention begins turning inward. not to judge ourselves, not to criticize ourselves, not to fix ourselves, simply to understand ourselves, and that is where witnessing begins. Most people think witnessing is another meditation technique. It isn't. Others think it is about escaping thought. It isn't. Witnessing is much simpler. A witnessing is a conscious experiencing, experiencing thoughts consciously, experiencing the emotions consciously, experiencing the body consciously, experiencing life consciously, without immediately judging, without resisting, without suppressing, without pretending, just observing, just understanding, just witnessing. The moment witnessing begins, our attention gently turns inward, not with judgment, not with labels, not with preconceived idea about who we should be, but with the genuine curiosity. For perhaps the first time, we begin to see ourselves as we truly are, not as society has defined us, not as our past has conditioned us, not as a fear imagines us, simply as we are. And something remarkable begins happening. Clarity starts emerging, not because someone gives us answers, but because understanding arises from within. Instead of reacting automatically, we begin responding consciously. Instead of allowing society, comparison, expectations, or circumstances to define the direction of our life, our next step emerges from inner clarity. And that is completely different way of living. Now, this does not mean the external world is unimportant. Quite the opposite. The external world is beautiful. It is where we learn, create, love, serve, build, explore. Our senses exist for a reason. Our eyes were made to see, our ears were made to hear, our hands were made to create, our heart was made to connect. The problem has never been senses. Problem is unconsciousness. Without awareness, our senses are completely filled by distraction, fear, comparison, pleasure, approval, desire. The external world begins controlling the inner world. As witnessing matures, something begins beautifully. Our senses become refined. We begin seeing more clearly, listening more deeply, feeling more consciously, and speaking more intentionally, acting more wisely, working more purposefully, loving more open. The world doesn't become less important. Our relationship with it becomes more conscious. We are no longer dragged by external events. We begin engaging with life from awareness. The world remains the same. The one experiencing it has changed. Perhaps humanity's next great evolution is not fast technology, not smarter machines, not more information. Perhaps it is understanding ourselves, optimizing awareness. Because when awareness evolves, everything else begins changing naturally. Relationships improve, communications improve, leadership improves, creativity improves, decision making improves. Not because life becomes easier, but because the one living life becomes more conscious. This understanding becomes the inspiration behind my framework. the circle of enlightenment. It begins with understanding ourselves. As awareness deepens, clarity naturally flows. Eventually, we return to ordinary life. The same work, the same family, the same world, but with a profoundly different perspective. A person who searched for answers begins living from understanding. A person once searched for light begins becoming the light. So today, I would like to leave you with one simple question. Have you optimized our business, career, our home, technology? But have we optimized ourselves? Not our image, not our achievement, not our resume, our awareness. Because perhaps the greatest transformation available to any human being is not becoming someone new. It's understanding who has been here all along. The moment begin witnessing limits, our attention becomes home, not to escape life, but to experience life consciously, not to reject the world, but to engage with it more wisely, not to suppress our senses, but to allow awareness to refine them. The world remains the same, but we no longer live as unconscious reactions to it. We begin living from clarity, from understanding, from awareness. And perhaps this is the optimism humanity has been missing. If this message resonates with you, subscribe for more witnessing insights. Join our growing community of people exploring awareness and conscious living. Until next time, keep it.